that we've been collaborating with Flone initiative for quite some time. And we are so glad that we've gathered here at least to dedicate these 2 days to focus on women.
We are proud women who have stood tall in the competitive transport industry in Kenya and in the East Africa.
It is our right as 50% of the world's population to be able to move freely, safely, and with our choice of movement.
An all-inclusive transport system is one in which access for women to services and means of transport is encouraged, where the participation of women in transport-related jobs is inclusive, with the aim of uplifting their conditions and thus reducing poverty.
One of the things as an urban planner, I have realized that when we work on transport projects, we see them primarily as physical infrastructure operations and service planning, but we don't integrate social behavior as well as economic opportunities.
Now, from the study from ITF, what we found is that even though women are entering the sector, they are largely coming in as employees. So we have to begin to think about women in the public transport sector workers as employees, not necessarily as the owners.
Our next panel seeks to explore men's role in both the challenges facing women in transport and the solution they are implementing to challenge patriarchy and end violence against women.
When it comes to the public transport system, it can also take many forms, particularly when it comes to harassment, ranging from unwanted touches, insults, sometimes could even be bad messages, including even bad music. Sometimes there are a lot of violence inside.
We encourage these forms of behavior, and until we come to a point where collectively, as travelers, as a society, we say we need to stop this, it's always going to be perpetuated.
As a union, that's Matatu Workers Union, we have a women's committee, strictly women. So these women have their own chair, have their own meeting dates, have their own membership. So they meet and come up with their own problems, own solutions. That's why ENA is able to say that I'm not going back to the company, but I'll be in the circle, meaning that the union is trying to convince her that something is being done.
I'm working in public transport in Tanzania, known as Daladala, under the company of Buddha. If the woman take this job, some people end up with unmarried or divorced because of such kind of job.
I was in love with the driver, and I decided by myself that I'll marry this driver. Then we decided to get married. What happened to the circle? They decided to sack me because I'm married. Out to my side, I said I'm going to get married. It's good I lose a job rather than to lose a husband. I was asking why.
There's a difference between the union and the circles. The circles will always defend the owners because it's a circle for the owners. So I would urge you, and I would urge every other woman seated in this room or a man, go join your union first, because it's only the union that will represent you, and it's only the union that can take up these issues. And that is why all the unions, plus the Matatu that is seated there, is affiliated to us as a global organization.
I find you like when you're driving, sometimes they look at you and say, hey, is it a lady driving? They'll not sometimes want to board your car just because you're a woman. They're not sure, they're not confident that you're going to take them to their destination.
The police are not harassing me, but ladies, we are very trustful, and they like us when we are trying to make our jobs instead of sitting at home.
I'm a single mother of 5, and I'm happy. I'm making my ends meet through the online taxi driver. I'm on Uber, Taxify, Vitu, and the rest. I'm also the co-founder of Anisa app. And well and good in Kenya,
we are being taken positively with the riders.
What I'd like to propose is that we need to cascade the engagement process, make it a little more inclusive and more involving when it comes to the particular people that are concerned.
And we are together in this, and we are going to support women in transport. Men who are in this room, kindly be active. Don't wait until women are harassed. When you are quiet, it is very shameful.
And gender mainstreaming is not a goal in itself. Kofi Annan said it's a precondition. It's a precondition for reducing poverty. It's a precondition for sustainable development, and it's a precondition for good governance.
I think there are many different aspects that we have to put in place to make sure that we understand the challenges faced by each time of women. So we need to have women also not only in the operations, in the planning, but in the operators, but also in the urban design of our cities. I think this is crucial that we train more women and we empower more women politically to occupy this space as well.
Among the four main components of moving toward gender mainstreaming, we have one component which talks about generating evidence-based study, and that's where SafetyPin comes. SafetyPin is a technology platform. We have a mobile application that lets you create a public space based on safety.
The software aspects, the culture, the education, we need a partnership. We are engaging many people to sensitize people in our communities, even sensitizing policymakers. We realize that they don't know these things, so we help them to understand. If you want to get people, women, children on the streets, you must change your mind and also do more than infrastructure design.
This is a new urban agenda. This new urban agenda 2030 is about the global goals need to be translated into action on the ground. I believe that new urban agenda and the 17 sustainable goal need to be translated to the ground by all government level, either at the national level, regional level, and also at the local level and community level.
But let me ask you, we're talking about unaitwa majina who are calling you a man, but why do you do a man's job? This is a man's job. It's a job like any other. Yes, I'm doing everything a man can do. I'm getting money and I'm paying for my bills.
And you're paying for your bills?
Yeah.
With this job?
Exactly.
What? How much is she getting?
It's enough. It's better than most stuff I've done, you know.
You're serious?
I'm serious.
Are you paying school fees?
I'm paying school fees, I'm paying rent, food, everything.
Live from the union!
Live from the union!
Live from the union!
Live from the union!
ITF power!
ITF power! ITF power! ITF power!
We need engagement from the civil society. It is civil society that drives legislation. It is civil society that drives allocation of budgets. And there are many other needs. So everybody that's interested in this needs to engage with political leaders and tell us where the gaps are. And this is how I see money being allocated, laws being changed, is because of civil society.
We call upon all women that are in the transport sector. SACCOs are deposit taking, but unions defend your rights as an individual, your rights as a worker. So we call upon you so that together we can, but divided you will complain.
I like that job, even though it's strenuous so much, but I like it because I usually pay myself. I'm not being paid by somebody else.
And so for me, this conference is really a data collecting conference. I think that the fact that we're here talking about it means that it is a beginning of us having a discussion that then, based on evidence and based on research, then can form policy.
So on behalf of Flone Initiative, I want to thank each and every one of you, whether you're an organization doing incredible work to create safe spaces for women and girls and to ensure that more women get to work in the transport industry. And I also want to applaud all the women who are here from Kenya, from Tanzania, from Uganda, and from Ethiopia, who have braved and also challenged all odds to do the incredible work that they do.
I'm Simon Mwai Kamau. I work at Handicap International, operating in Humanity and Inclusion in Kenya. I found the conference interesting because one of our colleagues was presenting, Stephanie Okech, about road safety. The women, they should come in into supporting women in transport. They should try to mitigate the sexual harassment, because you have found like people witness but they don't act, especially men. They witness this sexual harassment but they don't act. So men, they should come strongly to condemn and to ensure that women are not harassed in the transport system.
I have learned a lot because there are some people with disability who has attended the conference, and they have said whatever they normally face when they are in commuters. And I have just tried to put myself in their shoes. And from now onwards, I'll be trying to even to educate the other conductors and drivers how to handle these people.
Okay, I'm Tomasz Cigut. I work for UN Habitat and I come from Slovenia. I find it really interesting and valuable because there are a lot of people with practical experiences. Like we have had a woman who is a boda boda driver. We have had a woman who was a conductor and then lost her job due to a relationship with a coworker. So it's like you hear a lot of practical examples, which is something we don't find very oftenly at UN Habitat. It's like we're mostly dealing with policies and management and planning, so top level information. And here you can get some practical information, so you're more in contact with what's the situation in practice on the streets.
My name is Ivy Gathu. I'm an independent researcher, and I came to this conference I'm about creating safe spaces for women. Therefore, the conference was a good place for engaging and seeing what various organizations are doing in terms of creating safe spaces for women in public transport.